What is going on, Mavs fans? Welcome into another episode of Mavs Latest. I'm your host, Cody Brusso. On today's show, the Dallas Mavericks win a game. They beat the Memphis Grizzlies behind Chris Middleton. We're also going to be looking at the veteran presence there for the Mavericks. And game 2 of the back-to-back, we'll preview that, all that, and a little bit more for you coming at you next. Well, the Dallas Mavericks snap an 8-game losing streak with a win over the very short-handed Memphis Grizzlies. Chris Middleton had 22 of his game-high 35 points in the fourth quarter alone. Now, guys, not only did Chris have 35, he did have 2 rebounds, he had an assist, he had 2 steals, but 0 turnovers. Give the man his flowers. 0 turnovers. The rest of the cast there, Najee Marshall, only 5 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal. Unfortunately for him, 6 turnovers in this one. Cooper Flagg, 13 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists, 1 block, and only 1 turnover. He did have 3 fouls on him, though, so. PJ, 12 and 10, a double-double for him. Only 1 turnover, which is great for him. And this is a man that I was saying all year, y'all could go check the receipts. I was a Daniel Gafford guy. I didn't want us to trade him. 22 points, 14 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 2 turnovers, 3 fouls. That's what his stat line was. And again, he was battling with the foot injury. He's starting to get a little bit healthier. He's talked about how he's starting to feel better. And yeah, it's starting to really show out on the court. We're seeing flashes of that Daniel Gafford that we all kind of knew was there. Max Christie has a decent game. 13 points, 2 steals, 1 block. Just unfortunately 5 turnovers. And the rest of the bench squad, Brandon Williams puts up 12 points. Marvin Bagley puts up 6, but he does have 9 rebounds and 2 big blocks. No turnovers for the Bagman. Caleb Martin, 2 points. Ryan Nembhard, in 13 minutes, he puts up only 1 shot, doesn't score. 2 rebounds, but he does drop in 5 assists in that little bit of time out there showing the ball movement. Dwight Powell gets 2 minutes in garbage time, and A.J. Johnson gets 2 minutes in garbage time. Of this win, that's my only what the heck moment is A.J. Johnson getting 2 minutes. If this is somebody that you're still curious about and wanting to take a flyer on, like him getting, 2 minutes, has you kind of scratching your head there. But I know some of you guys are not happy about the tank. I personally am not. I love the win. And some of you are probably in your tank right now crying, no, we won. How could we win? We just screwed up our draft stock. But I love it. I love when we win. When we break down the rest of the stats, guys, we shoot 48%, 45 of 93. And here's another key thing. 3-pointers. We shoot over 30. I would like us to be in that 35 to 40 range, but hey, if you go look, I've been talking about with the 3-point shots that this team takes, anytime we shoot over 30, I'm happy. We shoot 32 of them. We hit on 11, only 34%. But luckily for us, Memphis, 14 of 48, they shoot 29%. So we actually win the percentage battle in this one. We take 24 free throws to their 22. But then it starts, the scales tip pretty heavy to Dallas. 60 rebounds were dominating the boards to their 38. And the assists, they do even up almost 25 to 26 in favor of the Grizzlies. The steals go the Grizzlies' way just by a little bit, 8 to 10. But then again, the scales tip heavy to Dallas. 9 blocks compared to their 5. Now, this stat, though, guys, we had 20 turnovers still compared to their 10. We allowed 29 points off of those 20 turnovers. And that is just not a formula for winning basketball. It hasn't been a formula all year, but it has been a major concern, is the turnovers. That has been one of the number one things for us that has crippled this team this year. But we'll get into the tankathon and everything else right after this quick break. Now, guys, we all know fast breaks and buzzer beaters are back, and Underdog is the best place to get in on all the action. Playing on Underdog is easy. Just pick whether your favorite player is going to go higher or lower on stats like points, rebounds, steals, and more. Get your picks right, and you can win up to 5,000 times your cash. Now, today on Underdog, I'm looking at that Dallas versus Cleveland game. Cooper Flag, they have him at 19.5. But he's been struggling a little bit lately, so I'm actually going to hit the lower on this one. And James Harden that I talked about, well, that I'll be talking about, 21.5 points is what they have him at, and I'm hitting the higher on this one. Now download the app and use the promo code BasketballFan to score $75 in bonus entries off your first $5. That's promo code BasketballFan. Underdog. Make picks, win money.
Must be 18 plus. 19 plus in Alabama and Nebraska. 19 plus in Colorado for some games. 21 plus in Arizona, Massachusetts, and Virginia. And present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/play and get terms DFSTML for details. Offer not valid in Maryland, Michigan, New Jersey, New York, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org. In New York, call the 24/7 Hope line at 1-877-8 or text from 467-369.
Welcome back in, guys. And again, when we look at the stats, the standings rather, depending on how you're looking at it as the standings or the tank standings, this game puts us still 2.5 behind or ahead of the Grizzlies, however you want to look at it. Grizzlies sit in the 11th spot, 23-42, while we still sit in the 12 at 22-44. Now, the opposite end of that, the Pelicans still sit a half game behind us. At the 13th spot, we are 22-44. Like I said, they are 22-45. So a loss tonight from the Mavericks would even us up, and it would actually move the Pelicans, I believe, ahead of the Mavericks, because I believe the Pelicans have the head-to-head tiebreaker against us. So what does this mean for us, guys? This is just purely odds for the draft. I don't see us running down the Kings. The Kings are 16-51, while the Jazz are 20-46. So there's a maybe. So you're saying there's a chance, just a little chance that we end up falling past the Jazz, but I still feel like that's highly unlikely, especially when this Mavs team they're not trying to tank. Just unfortunately, they don't have the shooters to really win some of these games. Now, speaking of games, the game ends. The Mavs are flying back to Dallas, but you don't get a break. It is a back-to-back. They leave Memphis, come into Dallas, and have to play the Cleveland Cavaliers. Why the NBA decided, hey, let's do a back-to-back for Dallas, but they're not back-to-back home games. It's an away game going into a home game. The Cavaliers, 75% chance favored in this game. When we look at the injury report, of course, being a back-to-back like this, Klay Thompson already listed as out for rest. Tyrese Proctor out for the Cavaliers. Max Struss, Jarrett Allen out. And that's it. Cleveland, of course, will still have James Harden and everybody else over there to try and pick up the win. And on paper, guys, these teams look pretty similar. The only difference being the points. 113-118 in favor of Cleveland. 117-114 in points against. But field goal percentages, 47% from both teams. Rebounds, 44 rebounds from both teams. Assist, 25-28. Blocks, 5.2 to 5.2. Steals, 7-8. On paper, very, very similar teams when you look at the averages. Just we don't shoot threes, and Cleveland is going to shoot some threes. Of course, the win against Memphis snaps our losing streak, so we're going in with a little bit of momentum, just unfortunately into a back-to-back. While on the flip side, Cleveland trying to gear up for this playoff push and everything like that, trying to run down a 1 seed there in the East, are coming off of a loss to Orlando, 128-122. But a big difference is that was on the 11th. So they've had a rest day, being able to come in and travel while they're going to be going up against a very tired Dallas Mavericks team. So I unfortunately have to lean the scales toward the Cleveland Cavaliers. I normally give us a puncher's chance, but I think this time, guys, we're going to be taking the L. But I will be back after this game to talk about what happened. I will see you guys then. Thank you guys so much. Peace out.